What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a good day. Well, at least a better one than the cheaters we're going to hear about in today's first story. I can imagine there's not many worse feelings than being caught cheating. But how about not just being caught cheating, but also having that cheating live streamed to your entire family on a group chat? That is NuclearRevenge. Ex cheated with her cousin-in-law and expected to save face. I think not. Let's start this story by saying this happened 12 years ago. I'm now happily married with 3 children and regret absolutely nothing. I was with my new ex for 3 years. I'd noticed that she was being extremely controlling. I was expected to give every little detail of my day and tell her my schedule in advance, and if I deviated from that, she would be very upset. She chalked it up to just bad feelings that she was having and shrugged it off as her paranoia for past relationships of infidelity. I'd never once cheated or strayed, and I never gave her a reason to act like this. It felt unbecoming of my fiancé to act in such a way. Now this is where it gets juicy. After she had asked for my schedule to make plans, as mine tends to be more hectic than hers, I noticed she was texting someone. In my line of work, if I put in more than 40 hours, I have the ability to take time off at will, as long as the work is completed at a later date. I was very good friends with her brother, and still am. We laugh about this to this day, and he actively reminds her of it. I messaged him stating I wanted to do something special for her a little bit earlier than our anniversary to make sure it was a special surprise. They both worked in the same fabrication facility. He was a fabricator and she a shipping manager. He was kind enough to let me know her schedule. That is where the discrepancy falls into place. Without my knowledge, she was foregoing overtime. She worked 12-hour shifts Monday through Friday, with the exception of Wednesday when she'd work half a day. She'd been taking Wednesdays off right around the time that she started getting extremely controlling. Lucky for me, I'd stacked several days of leisure time up, so taking a Wednesday off for me was not an issue. A few days go by and Wednesday is here. I put on my work gear and leave for work. I was expecting her to leave as our apartment complex had 2 exits on the same road that I could see directly across from a shopping centre. So I parked my car near the back and waited. After about an hour, I noticed a very specific red Mustang with a specific decal on the back window. It was her cousin by marriage. I'd also done my due diligence to take an old laptop, which we kept on our desk in an office area with a full view of the living room, bedroom door and bathroom, plus the kitchen. I had set it up for remote access and had it alert me when the webcam noticed movement. Giving her the benefit of the doubt, I thought he may be dropping something off or coming over to assist her with something, as her family sometimes does. Sure enough, a message came through, so I remote into my laptop. He walks through the door without skipping a beat. She unbuttons his shirt and begins kissing him. I created a URL link for the livestream, and as she was preoccupied, we had a family group text and a friend group text. They were both part of it, but at the current time, they were indisposed and didn't look at their phones. They didn't even wait. They could have gone to the bedroom, but no, they decided to get freaky deaky right there on the couch. I sent the link off to the friend group chat and the family group chat, and within minutes, I'm getting calls non-stop from friends and family alike. There was no turning back. She was getting blown up, but she was ignoring her phone. Not until the 4th or 5th call came through did they decide to take a break. For context, the state I live in allows recording of personal property regardless of occupancy. I was the only one on the lease. She wasn't allowed to be on the lease because of poor credit. Wow, so this was completely legal. Well, actually, you let me know in the comments down below, guys. Is it legal to send this as a live stream in the knowledge of what's going on? I don't know. It probably gets a little bit wishy-washy here, but yeah, in principle, legal, I guess. The call she'd picked up was from her cousin's mother who she was banging. She answers the phone on speaker, and I kid you not, the first words out of his mother's mouth was "Stop screwing my son." They both became rigid and she began to stutter over her words, saying, "What are you talking about?" etc. The mother then divulged that there was a live feed of them sent out by me to her family. She grabbed every pillow off the couch and covered herself up. The cousin staggered off, trying to put on his pants and shoes, just to trip himself up and bang his head off of my coffee table, leaving it with a divot. By this time, I'd made my way to the front of the apartment complex. I was there to greet the adulterer as he came out of the front exit. He froze and began to cry, apologizing profusely. I'm not gonna lie, what happened afterwards wasn't my best moment, and I nearly got into legal trouble if it weren't for the fact that he was trespassing on private property. Let's just say I had a cast for 6 weeks, and he wasn't in any family photos for months. I went up to the apartment, where she was now fully clothed and crying inconsolably. I asked her if it was snot or something else on her face. Wow. Then I told her not to answer because it didn't matter anyway. I gave her 1 hour to remove all her belongings, as again, everything in the apartment was mine except for clothes, some makeup, and a few kitchen utensils. Her mother would not let her move in, as she was just filled with embarrassment. Same for her brothers, and the cousin's mother kicked her son out. Rumour spread around our town very quickly, and for a lack of better words, she was untouchable. And there we go. What a start to the episode. Now, the beauty of this story is that although it just seems completely ludicrous, and to be fair, it pretty much is an insane story, there is actually evidence that OP has provided to completely back up this entire post and confirm that it's true. We're going to get into that in a second, but for now, goodness me, put yourself in the shoes of these two cheaters. Getting caught, as I said in the intro, is bad enough, but having your mum call you and say, "Stop," is just insane. Can you imagine being in the group chat, by the way? It would have been absolutely popping off. Clicking on that link and just being like, I cannot believe what I'm watching here. I mean, do you even look away at that point, or do you have to just hold your hands up and say, this is brilliant, gotta keep going? Insane stuff. What a start to the episode. But hey, here is the evidence. Now, I say evidence. Obviously, there's not footage of the actual live stream. That would be illegal. But we have some text exchanges like the one on screen if you're watching on YouTube that kind of just prove this whole thing happened when OP said as well. This is from November the 1st, 2011. Oh, got you. Yeah, well, you looked great there, so very nice. Ha, thanks, hun. You're still working a million hours. Got too many bills. Where are you living at nowadays? Same apartment, just now without the crazy abusive cousin screwing whore here. Lol. Whoa. Wait a minute. She screwed your cousin? She screwed her step-cousin. Wow, there you go. Insane. Here we have another set of text messages. Hey dude, can I use you as a reference at blank? OP says, you wouldn't want to. Burn bridges there, and nothing against you and the family, but blank pretty much gave off the worst impression for the family. Then, a reply, yeah, she's a hoe. It's all good, dude. Thanks and take care. Again, you can see this is July 31st, 2012 on Facebook Messenger. Wow. And here we have an actual picture of the ex and the cousin. If you are listening to this on a podcast platform, the link to watch the YouTube video and see these two is down below. But there we go. Some photo evidence. Here we amazingly have a picture of OP's x-ray, I guess. You know, he said about the scan and how if it wasn't trespassing on private property, he may well have had to, you know, go to jail or at least been arrested for this. I don't know necessarily if that's broken. It looks broken. He's pointing to an x-ray of his wrist. Goodness me. That is some great evidence. I'm not going to lie that, yeah, things got a little bit heated when you caught these two. And now here we have the conversation between OP and his ex's brother from September the 2nd, 2011. Hey, I want to surprise your sis for anniversary day. What's her schedule this next week? Her brother says, don't know, I'll check it on Monday. Thank you. Morning, dude. Did you check that schedule? Gotcha. Saw this on lunch. She's here Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from 6 to 6. So there you go. The 12-hour shifts without Wednesday, OP says. So off Wednesday and the weekend. Looks like it. What you doing? The Bean, either Cubbies or Socks game and some grub. Probably grab a night box on Mitch Ave. Nice. Have a good one. We'll try for sure. Then, a few days later, the brother says, what is going on between you two? My mum won't tell me, and Katie is blowing her head, asking to crash it, saying that mum won't help her. This is on the Wednesday at 4:19 p.m. This is the day it happened. Unbelievable. Then OP says, I can't, bro. Ask, I don't know, maybe your mum, I don't know. And then the brother replies, what? Are you for real? Yeah, I can't deal with this now. I'm in wherever. I screwed my hand up. Big effing ordeal today. Oh my god. Maybe Joliet is a hospital. Call me ASAP, man. My gram was in that group chat. Oh my goodness me. Grandma's in grandma? Oh my God. Listen, I can't right now. I got too much stuff going on. I lost my mother friggin' head today. I get if we ain't good no more. Tell your family I'm sorry and our peeps. I just need me time. The brother replies, we're good, man. Just give me a call. Screw that hoe. Then later on that night, I think these guys have had a conversation out over the phone. OP says, hey man, I appreciate the talk and you having my back on this. Again, tell everyone I'm sorry. And no, I'm not going to pop myself. I just didn't know that she could do this to us. I want the frickin' ring back. Her brother says, hey man, you good? You pick up or am I coming over? Chill, man, I'm good. Just doing my morning glory and showering. Oh, a lovely text message right there. I was telling my boss I had to go. He knows something, cuz sister isn't here. Don't care, and don't use that word. Huh? What? The word is cuz. LMFAO. Oh my God, this is brilliant. And then this last set of messages, I'm not entirely sure who it's between OP and someone else, but it's from July 2020. Pretty much OP just saying that at the end of the day, you got to do what's right for you. It's a good thing that he moved on from his cheating ex, now has a couple of great daughters, a great wife, good income, etc, etc. Oh my goodness me. There we go. That is some unbelievable evidence. So how about that? I mean, just simply sensational stuff. The reason why I chose to include all of that evidence is because a lot of the time with these posts on Reddit in general, to be fair, we have no real idea if they're true or not. We kind of have to take OP's word for it, no matter the story, and use our best judgment as to whether we think it happened or not. With this one, we can see there are messages and pictures and scans from the hospital over a decade. So yeah, safe to say, this one definitely happened and is definitely one of the most crazy nuclear Avengers that I've ever read. Well, after that unbelievable first story, the second one has a lot to live up to, but nonetheless, here we go. I blew up a romance scammer's life. This one is fresh and still unfolding, but it's already hit an explosive level. Some details are intentionally vague. For some context, I am a woman in my 30s with a reasonably good corporate type job in a field with lots of room for growth, and I'm recently back into the dating scene after a decade. I'm kind of a would-be a 10 if she lost 30 pounds looking girl, beautiful face if a bit chubby, but I never have issues getting a date. Lol. Very humble as well. I'm not well off, but I'm stable and have a bit of spending money. I live in a large multicultural city and my ex was an immigrant, so I'm open to dating people of any origin. If it wasn't abundantly clear, this bit about my appearance is a joke and only speaks to his failure to select an appropriate victim. I don't care what people think about how I look. Okay, fair enough. I think that's a later edit, so yeah, fair enough. So what happened? Well, a few weeks ago, I met a very charming man from a Latin American country, only a couple of years younger than me. Seemed very sweet, cuddly, intelligent, family-oriented, emotionally available, educated, and in a good profession back home in his country, and had a lot in common with me. Chemistry seemed amazing inside and outside of the bedroom. He was honest that he was in my country on a tourist visa, but hoping to stay. I made it clear I wouldn't be able to help him with that, but we'd have a fun summer fling while he was here. If he managed to stay or come back, only then would we consider a real relationship. Then the other shoe dropped. A couple of weeks and 4 dates in, during a text conversation about my work, he asked me to be his sugar mummy. I initially laughed and assumed it was a joke. He kept pushing though and clearly said it wasn't. Of course, feeling insulted by this, I went off on him. He maintained it as a serious ask until I hit a nerve with my complaints about how embarrassed he should be to ask me that. Then he got angry and insulted me for thinking he was serious about it. No apology for being hurtful to me. Obviously, what I did next was take screenshots and cry about it to my closest friends. I was hurt that I was fooled into thinking he liked me and that he thought I needed to pay for a man. My friends started the fuse on what happened next. One of my friends started snooping more on his online presence. Together, we found about 6 different Instagram accounts that were him using different variations of his name and different photos of himself, all uploaded in batches. On Facebook, a similar pattern. All very scammy and suspicious looking. He'd been foolish enough on one of his profiles though to follow and tag the employer that he was working for illegally on his tourist visa in my country. So I contacted another close friend in a local law enforcement agency that works with immigration. She looked up his file and he had a wife and daughter at home. I released the hounds after that. The friend who helped me investigate online made several group chats on multiple platforms with all of his family, immediate and extended, and friends. She released all the screenshots as well as a rant about how shameful it was. As they started blocking her, she just added more people. I found his sister's phone number. She sent her messages on there too. Everyone he knows, including his wife, know that he's unfaithful and trying to take advantage of women. 30 minutes after the online bombardment started, I got a rude message from him about how I should be smart enough to know that he was joking and he doesn't need to sell himself. I didn't reply. Next step, online immigration reporting form with all the info we found. Work info, employer name and address, his home address, full name, date of birth, photos, screenshots admitting to working. Usually these reports take months to be reviewed, if at all. But I gave the file number to my law enforcement friend. 2 days later, law enforcement officers visited him at home. They found him with a phone number that was issued to a local resident. All his roommates also had numbers issued to the same person, a direct link to the employer. He received a caution for trying to scam me, a no contact order, and a flag on his immigration file that based on his country of origin will likely mean he can never return, as well as a strict warning to not work without authorization. His roommates also received warnings. His employer received a visit next. They found significant proof that they've been employing him illegally as well as multiple other people. Their investigation is still ongoing, but so far they are likely to receive tens of thousands in fines or possible jail time. The guy isn't getting deported because the government would have to pay for it, and proceedings take longer than his remaining visa time, but he's now upgraded from a flagged file to a multi-year ban on re-entry to my country. If he bothers me again though, he'll be deported as well. I hope he enjoys going back to his angry wife and the ridicule from everyone he knows. See you again, never. Wow, what is it with this episode, these two stories in particular, and putting evidence into a group chat with the wrongdoers, family, friends, anyone, just embarrassing someone in front of their entire family and friends. There's not much better revenge, in my opinion, than that. Seriously. Like, you do something bad and you get caught, from the person that you're doing the bad thing to. That is obviously, not a great moment for you. It feels terrible, but at least no one else knows about it. It doesn't ruin your entire life. Your family don't disown you. Your friends don't all turn against you. This right here, live streaming the events directly to your family and friends, or at the very minimum, sending screenshots just so everyone that you care about and who cares about you knows what you're doing. It is the worst. It's so good. It's brilliant karma. And that is what makes Nuclear Revenge such a good subreddit. Guys, really hope you enjoyed this one. That is going to do it. If you want more from the subreddit, more Nuclear Revenge stories with just brilliant, justice like this, like the two stories that we've seen today, then check out more. Either subscribe to the channel, follow me on whatever platform you're on, or there is a link, right here on screen if you're on YouTube, or down below, top line of the description if you are not, to listen to some more phenomenal revenge stories. I'll see you all next time. Wow, those two were sensational.